and they are going to bring that Killjoy into this. So it's basically kind of, it's mirrored when it comes to utility, and then the duelists are just on that comfort.
You don't often see Killjoy v Killjoy on Haven. Like, Cypher is still very strong on this map, though it's a little bit harder to implement some of his stuff because of the Astra utility being able to affect some of his timing. So let's see how that plays out, as we're going to see Envy wasting no real time. Again, a very explosive team, and so you're going to see them rush into A immediately, and they get the entry on the F. He's been able to strike back, however. It's short-lived as Finesse makes sure that Envy had the advantage as the spike goes down.
Spike planted kind of in an awkward spot. Something a little different than we usually see. A bit closer out towards that A-long area. Penny trying to find any shots on target. Unfortunately, target acquisition. Nobody peeking his way. Paint shells push him away for a second. It is still that man advantage for Envy. Turret to get some info. The high-low stacked up here. The full damage as Finesse nets one. Victor's there in Vanity. Now needs to find 4 on the round. Unfortunately, not going to be able to do that. Mummy closes it out. The imposter has fallen, and Envy pick up the pistol.
Important for them to set the tone again. Very reminiscent of what happened last time these two met. Just being able to get those early hot starts.
Last player standing.
Oh, that's.
I was wondering what happened to Pity. Oh, brother. A tough one, for sure. But again, Envy are going to keep this pace up. And this is one of the maps that really plays to their strength of that faster attacking speed, because defense can usually be spread. Then they have to play for early information or gamble. And you can try to punish that by the map just being so large and rotations being so long. And again, as Bach was kind of indicating, it's one of the maps where you get the Victor on the Phoenix, and he can be very powerful on this agent.
Oh. Penny again trying to find something. Caboose takes a bit of damage, but a kill still swings the way of Envy as they continue to punish this anti-eco. 2 on the flank. We met here by Finesse. The spike planted and heard the footsteps. Now Finesse has to know that they are just looking for exits, and I guess the smart play would be just to run the other way. That way you are not giving anything over, right? You want that flawless second round, so you're having a pretty solid bonus. Sure.
Victor already has to run it back, by the way. So that means that their bonus round is even more interesting. Like, being on the bonus can sometimes take you back against the full buy, but having that run it back really allows you to, like, strike hard and fast in close quarters and maybe be able to overwhelm the technically superior firepower that will be purchased by V1 coming up. Again, Envy's life on the line in this map, and they're doing great these couple of rounds to try to at least stay in the hunt. Survive with all 5 players.
Just, I know that play wasn't much at the end for Vanity. He was kind of just running to sacrifice himself, but can we just reflect back for a second to us almost seeing a ninja defuse? Earlier in the day?
Yes, we can.
That's just so crazy. I was thinking that maybe Vanity was going for something like that at the end, but then the clock started ticking faster, and there's just no time for it. But what a day of Valorant it has been. Now it's about to be a day as Version 1 have since come online here in Haven. They're able to purchase basically full rifles across the board. Unfortunately, Vanity's still sitting on just that Spectre, so maybe too much into the utility. Oh my goodness, Victor trying to get some information there. Just had nowhere to go with the grab swarm combo.
That was big.
He gets sent right back. Penny chipped away. Finesse taking off the board. Victor to follow. In the first buy round for Version 1, looking good thus far.
Yeah, really well done to cancel out that all. That's kind of like the ace up the sleeve of Envy on the bonus, was to send Victor forward to try to create some havoc and to cancel him out. And now you have a 5-on-3 retake opportunity. But Caboose, deep in enemy lines, not being funneled out into mid on B post plan, able to just kind of start really chipping away at these rotations before they can even really get started. Caboose having so much impact here.
Vanity has 6 health. They're able to find one more kill here in this one, but they have to try and find a defuse as well, and it's planted over towards that A connector area. Crashies does have one more shock dart to the name, only going to take a bit of damage. Whippy tries to trade things out. Vanity somehow staying alive and finding a kill with just 6. Whippy was close. The close only gets you so far. The rifle round diversion. 1.
Yeah, Envy, though, really close there. Again, despite the fact that they had the setback with the run it back not working out, and then they also got pushed out at A, and early advantage actually went to V1. Obviously, you're also in the bonus situation, so you kind of know that you're going to be on the back foot. I really like how Caboose pushed out the A link and gave his team a chance. Too often teams in post-plant get funneled into just playing middle or gong. They don't have like garage control or A link, and so you kind of just get pigeonholed on how you can hold post-plant. Caboose gave it a real whirl, got a couple of big kills, but V1 able to keep their composure and still manage the victory. Now we come to our first full-on 5 versus 5 round. And there are Astra Stars literally everywhere. Okay, then. Goodbye.
Yep. And blood spilled on that C site. An early kill from Crashies. Nice long-range battle. Goes their way. Vandal in hand, and C taken, I mean, quite honestly, for free there. A 4v5, I'm wondering how this goes, because you don't have a whole lot, right? There's no real way for you to find an early pick somewhere to then say, yeah, we can win this out. I wonder if it is just going to eventually be a save.
And they're trying to set up those Astra Stars, see if they can't maybe clear out some angles first, or at least limit what they have to be responsible for as they come in. But Caboose smartly pulls out the Showtime, testing the water, saying, hey, go for it. Give it a shot. Watch what happens. And so I feel like that is what really kind of forced V1 to just kind of fall back and now try to save, but they're getting picked apart. Caboose with the big headshot in the Vanity, so that weapon's not going to be carried over. So there you have it, Envy. Coming out swinging their tournament life on the line. Winning their first full gun-on-gun round. That should inspire some confidence, right? That things are going well. Things are on the right track. Just got to keep it up. Keep steaming ahead. But again, V1, they've already fit in one round against the bonus, and now they're still able to buy here. So still some chances to kind of thwart Envy's momentum.
A Penny one away from the daggers. Oh, no. Okay, they're going to shuffle some stuff around and make sure that the Jet can get a rifle in hand. Whippy with just light shields and a Phantom, which means one headshot from the Phantom does take down that Killjoy. And we actually saw that earlier in that first, at the beginning of that last round. One headshot from Crashies was enough. Now Hunter's Fury. No tag, only a tag from the Recon Bolt, and he finds the kill off the back end. Whippy just can't catch a break.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting rocked. Just back-to-back times, he's just been foiled early at C, leading to a quick plant and an advantage for Envy. The flank also going to get detected by this drone here in just a second, so no chance at Zealous is pulling the wool over their eyes, making this retake even more difficult than it already was, based on the fact that they were a man behind. But Zealous actually gets Crashies anyway. And so this retake still has some teeth to it, but Victor holding it off.
And Zealous is only able to find one on the flank as Vanity goes for the run and gun. Effie's able to find an upgrade. 16 rounds in the chamber, though. Needs to do something insane at the end of this one. And a 1v2, Mummy's going to find the kill. And, I mean, what can you even do, right? You're setting up your Killjoy solo on C site. One round you peek, and you just get deleted immediately. The next one they say, hey, man, just play back. We'll play retake as 5. You get spotted by a Recon Bolt and then ulted?
Later, bro.
What do you... I feel so bad for Whippy.
Yeah, he's getting the short end of the stick, I guess you could say, as we're going to see Finesse already with the ult here. The lockdown, obviously a very big tool for post-plant intakes, so giving Envy that edge. Also, the firepower advantage for Envy is way out there. So, chance for Envy to keep this lead flowing. Effie's trying to go for the orb here. He will be able to get it. Just trying to work on that Hunter's Fury for later. Other than that, though, again, everything looking solid for Envy into this one.
Penny did activate the Blade Storm, so they are just trying to find something in this one. That could be enough to find a round. Unfortunately, Effie's caught inside the drone. Zelsis is there to trade it back. Going to work, finds another duelist off the table for Envy. Backing away as Zelsis, unfortunately not able to find an upgrade, but this puts your squad in such a great spot, because not only are you finding kills with pistols, but you still have Penny and the Blade Storm to work with.
That is true. This round is starting to go spiraling out of control from Envy's perspective. They are a man down, but they still have that lockdown. They have full C-side control now, thanks to Mummy's push.
30 seconds
So the Spike
left.
will swing that direction. They also are going to have Crashies kind of playing the rotation cutoff point here. He might get this flank off as well. But look at this. Vanity goes unchecked and gets the kill on the Mummy. Now Crashies will capitalize on the trade. The lockdown's in play. But still, they lose another player earlier than anticipated, and Crashies is kind of saving the day.
Crashies, oh no, Finesse helping save the day there, taking down the knives. Zelsa's picked up too early in this one. It does have a Phantom in hand, but it's another very tall task for this squad as the turret gets sprayed down. Lots of time on the spike, and that's gonna fall, and now a play can be made here. Zelsis can look to get something done. Unfortunately, gonna get tagged twice, so it'll buy a bit more space and a bit more time. Crashies knows just how he wants to play it, and he doesn't get caught as he sneaks away. It's a 3K in response, and Envy, some way, somehow, they sneak away with the round that should have been in the bag.
That's why Crashies is like one of the best performing solos out there in the region. Just getting some key kills to save the day when things are starting to slip between Envy's fingers. Comes with a big clutch there.
This push right here from Whippy, again, just, I don't want to call that one can't catch a break, but a little too early just to swing like that. And obviously you're staring down the barrel of a Vandal with your Frenzy in hand, so it's a very tough place to be. Whippy definitely having troubles early in this one. Op shot goes wide from Penny, and Zelsis unfortunately pays for it with his life. So the buddy system not working at this time around. Version 1, down a player, Envy in the driver's seat, and they're not ready to give it up yet.
Yeah, they know what's on the line. They know what they must do, and they're putting in the work. Big opening pick in the next buy up from V1. They're getting a very empty A site here, putting the stars down, blocking off those initial rotation points, making sure they're going to secure that site. Spike should be coming down any moment now. Stars are actually starting to slow them down a little bit, making progress on site. Buying time for some rotations here. Effie's going to throw some shot darts out there, make Finesse pay for committing to this plant. But again, Envy are still a step up, and Victor does have that run it back if they need it, but the lockdown comes in from the opposing side, pushing players off the site to help out this retake.
Oh, and the Cosmic Divide.
That's such a great combo.
That's huge. You know they're pushed off the side. Here comes that run it back, so Victor needs to do something heroic here. Crashes to fall. Victor still alive, and the ultimate will eventually be sent back, but now Whippy, who's been struggling thus far, needs to find 3 more on the round. Fakes the defuse for 1, and Caboose shoots him in the back as he peeks over towards Mummy. It's another round to Envy, and at the very least an even half.
Yeah, it's just a battle of the wits, right? I mean, it's a great combination to lock down, to make them fall off the site, and then Astro Divide to say, okay, now you have to play through this barrier on top of being pushed off the site, right? But at the say, equally impressive for Envy to say, okay, that's fine. We're going to run it back in recon. And so you recon for perfect intel. Victor gets 2 chances at pushing the barrier to get frags, and does just that. And so they are able to counter a really well-designed play from V1 to try to retake with. And at this point, V1, you're kind of running out of options. Like, what do you do? Like, your economy's in tatters. You tried a couple of different things, whether it be playing for retake or something along those lines. I mean, they could still try playing aggressively, obviously. Like, maybe you use your Astra, try to catch a timing and push sewers and get a pick on A lobby. Or, you know, obviously you could try to set up an op on top of B site and try to take some picks into middle. Or there's different things you could try to do. But so far, nothing's really panned out. Meanwhile, Envy are crushing it right now. Their frag distribution, I mean, look at it. Their top fragger and their 4th best fragger are 1 frag apart. And again, Mummy kind of playing that sacrificial role. You kind of understand where he's coming from as far as where his frag count is. Meanwhile, Effie's still has yet to arrive when it comes to fragging. Penny's struggling to get going. Normally one of the best players on this team. It's really been kind of the Vanity and Zelsis show. And Zelsis, you expect it, and we know that Vanity is a good fragging leader, but something's got to give here soon, or this is going to be a very quick trip to map 3.
It's always the tactical on this eco round, just to try and slow things down, figure things out as you work the economy to be able to buy into the next. We've seen these thrifty rounds have, okay, there it is. They yield incredible results sometimes. Penny going to pick up the first, and that's spiked down, so they know they're leaning this way.
So I know I mentioned aggression sewers in that little chit chat we had, but I was more meaning next time around. You know what I mean? When you get an op in your hand or something. Penny said, you know, I'll just maybe try that with the sheriff, and well, that's Victor's melon gone. But in the midst of it, Seaside taken for free. It's cleared out. They know it's free. Spike coming in. We're still going to have a great post plant because they're still with superior firepower. They have Hunter's Fury available for post plant, so they can just tuck Crashies into long C, defend him, and basically checkmate that no defuse can ever happen. It's going to rely on some type of flanking maneuver or some big push down long C to try to put Crashies off his perch and try to somehow seal this round away.
And Envy, I feel like, have in full force realized that it's just nobody on C. They're just going to be looking to retake this. Celsius gets pushed away by the grab pulse. Boost is there to find a kill. Toss out the paint shield to try and push him back, but it's Finesse instead with the rifle in hand. Now pushing on through his FBC. Peeks the wrong way. I believe he finds his first in the game, but Mummy picks up two in quick response. Up the back end of a tactical pause. V1 drop another round, but here we go. This is the round that the pause was for. They're going to buy up.
Indeed they are. They didn't even have to use the Hunter's Fury either, so they still have that and the Showstopper and the Lockdown. I mean, Envy has so many tools to just keep taking sites and keep building up their lead. But, as you said, the buy-up is back, though. Again, Vanity has to go for Spectre, no op for Penny. Yes, FEs has Hunter's Fury to maybe cancel out a Lockdown, but they're definitely still very much set back right now.
Oh, that's another great start, but you have to be able to close here if you're version 1. And it's a duelist again, unfortunately. And he dashes right into the wall, maybe trying to give away that he was trying to escape. It could have been a fake. Unfortunately, that drone going to spot him out. Does tag him, and he's going to go up over the top with the upwind and the updraft, excuse me. Be able to escape for now. Running right into Zelsa, so still in the same corner. Picks up another kill now. Crashies. Not long for this world. It's a flawless round in response, and the tactical timeout worked, Dust.
It did. Flawless victory, man. Again, it comes off the aggression because you could see that Envy were trying to push through that well. It's so hard to make that happen, though, man. Like, it really just disturbs the timings to give you the edge on the attacking side if you play through that. So it sets up Zelfus defensively to be able to get that initial pick, and then that recon ball literally caught, I think, everyone that was left. And so it sets up the Hunter's Fury to just continue to stall out Envy, continue to buy time for rotations, just build that information base. And then you could tell that at that point, Victor's like, I just have to go for the Hail Mary and just run in there and try to chase down this jet, and it just didn't happen. Gets caught, and so finally V1 are able to get around on the board, but will it be short-lived or not? It's kind of the next thing you have to ask yourself, because they need a lot more, I feel like, out of this half. They need to be able to push this to, I feel like, at least 4 rounds.
And that's really the best you could hope for. Obviously, 5 the best you could hope for here, but the way that Envy have been running the show.
And with the lockdown and Showstopper still available to explode a site with, I mean, it's going to be kind of hard to stop that. Hunter's Fury no longer available to cancel out the lockdown either, so you feel like that's not necessarily an auto win, but that should give Envy a true edge once they decide to put it to use. As they're taking their time with this one. Like, they're getting sewers control, they're putting that pressure on A, they're trying to make V1 respect this site, but they're not committed, right? That spike is still, very much at the back of middle. Envy are still, exploring other options. They still have a player in cubby at long C, so the world is their oyster in that regard, but they still have to break through somewhere and find a pick.
And interesting that they're looking to make a play out towards B. A huge curveball. It saves Caboose's life. Penny was there to have the shots, but he was forced to dash away because he was completely blinded there.
Also,
and again,
that grab
it's the
well
buddy system
destroyed that Showstopper, dude.
Yeah.
Like, never gave it a chance. But now the lockdown's in play to control A site, so they're going to get A. No doubt about that. They're going to get the spike planted. And, I mean, Mummy is still at C. I mean, he has to play the biggest long con flank of all time.
Yeah, especially because you're not buying time anymore. You have nothing to help you buy time. So
it's working. He's getting there.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Is this really how the curtain falls for V1 on this round? He's got to step it up now. They're pushing site.
Nova Pulse, grab well, some utility thrown on out. Now Mummy should be romping and stomping here soon. Caboose gonna find the first. That's onto Zelsa. Still on low HP as FE's and Vanity. They're gonna swing out towards short and pick it up, and Mummy has made his way onto the site completely unnoticed. In the back lines, he's gonna pick up a couple, but it's not enough. Version 1 running out of time will get it done for a third.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if you're going to play that type of long con, you have got to hope that your team holds for long enough to still make sure that you have advantage when you come in, or you have to just line up like the spray down of the Sentry. And unfortunately, he kind of got caught wrapping around this sight box. Like, it got picked up early enough to where the rest of the team can kind of respond and not give it a chance to wrap around. Like, look at this. He's coming around, and then he spots, he gets the kill in the Killjoy, but Vanity can just come off, right? He had time to stop that from having more impact. So, again, that's a really big dice roll to try to play like that, and if you're going to do it, it absolutely has to have massive impact, and it just didn't. One kill wasn't good enough from that position.
It makes you think, right? Hindsight 2020, but if he would have swung to the left side, peeking down long, he'd have find the backs of 3 and then had to worry about the diffuser.
Yeah, one of those things you just can't ever know.
Yeah.
It's one of those like tough spots where you either look like a genius or you get memed on. And I think the chat's probably memed on him right now, but don't be too mean.
Memius, if you will. Now pushed onto the side, though, is Victor. Gonna take a bit of damage. Q's up the curveball, but he's a bit late with it. And it's gonna be the Lear to try and buy some more space. Caboose is there to shoot it down. The rest of the squad should be there as well. Finesse looking for a kill towards the back of the side. Instead, it's gonna be Caboose for 2. So matching Zelsis' energy, and Penny gets caught out in the off angle. Effie's now in a 1v1. Needs to go huge. He finds the first onto Crashies. They're basically even when it comes to the HP. Caboose looking to play aggressive on this one. The spike's still down on the site, and I'm not too sure if Effie's is privy to this information, but he has a whole heap of utility to stop this plan from going through.
Yes.
30 seconds left.
You are correct. Thing is, the moment you pop Hunter's Fury, you're exposed, so saving that for later is definitely the play. Using now the plant itself to be a Shroud of Secrecy, but he had the jump on Caboose, but didn't quite connect the dots. Caboose, big round there. I think that was a hat trick if I'm not mistaken from him. The triple. And so NV do jump up to 8, and you feel like V1 need this one. They finally have an op in Penny's hands. They have all the ults except for the lockdown. Run it back though, available for Victor, and a Cosmic Divide available for Mummy, so definitely can get some value out of that. So it all comes down to this, man. How much of an advantage are Envy going to have if we transition sides?
I don't remember if that update came through in 2.06 or 2.07. We are on patch 2.07, which means you can pull the diffuser off the spike if you are the Astra player. Coming towards the end, though. Vanity picks up 2. Mummy will finally silence the Astra for version 1, but a couple of huge kills to pick up, and that is Zelsis forced to back away with 55 HP. Whippy finally holding down the side, able to do it. Picks up another, and Mummy going galactic for just a moment. Chipped away, 44 HP with 3 members to worry about, and Effie's gonna grab him through the wall. So version 1, they figure it out. They put their heads together. They find 4 in the first half. Now they need to find another 4 to tie us up.
Yeah, they won, what, 3 of the last 4 rounds of the half, I believe it was. So that puts us at a total of 4 for the game. They obviously had won the, like, anti-bonus early in the half. So, yeah, I mean, they kind of got that number that you felt was kind of the bare minimum they needed to hang around for, like, the 2-0 threat for the series. Yeah. But still, all in all, if you're Envy, you're feeling pretty solid about the half. I mean, you got a hot start. You were up, 8-1, 7-1. So definitely all the things going your way early. Obviously, you'll be a little bit upset you kind of let a couple slip by at the end, but still definitely going to be a very competitive score bringing into the second half to try to force a map 3. Big for Effie. So we talked about him. He was at one point like 0-6 or 0-7, and now he's jumped up there and had some impact. So I just want to shout him out since I kind of shut him out in kind of a negative way earlier. Got to praise the redemption.
Speaking of, it's highlighted there for us. That is the player that we were talking about. Crashies, yeah. Crashies giving us some of that production value that the Sova brings to the team. Now, as far as version 1 being on the attacking side here, I guess the second half as a whole, who is this boding more well for? Are we expecting NB to have, like, you're the numbers guy usually have the percentages.
Yeah, their defense is usually slightly better than their attack. Like, just from the history of the team.
Wow. So defense looking pretty good. Crashies walks away with 20 HP, but completely nearsighted by the Larry. Picks up a kill on Zelsis. It's one you wish you could have back now if they go on the hunt for this Silva. They're going to be running right into Caboose, and Crashies is still able to find another on 20 HP. Vanity is able to take his leave, and the spike has since been planted, so they are working against the clock. That is Envy. As the turret goes through, it's a fake defuse for just a second. A nebulous smoke on top and a shock dart queued up to try and delay things for a moment longer. And if you're Envy, you have to figure it out right here, right now. Recon bolt for the information. Mummy gonna be on the defuse. The shock dart to go on through. He gets taken off, and he doesn't have it halfway.
Nope.
The utility's so huge here. Envy looked to grab the round, but Version1 snake it away.
Indeed, they do again. Effie's, my man, coming up big yet again. Now up to 8 and 9. How quickly he has turned things around for himself individually. A wild ride to kick off this round. And then it's followed up by just perfect utility usage from Effie's with these shock darts coming in clutch. Not allowing that halfway defuse to happen. And now that's V1 jumping up to 5 again. V1, pretty solid attacking team. Around 64% win rate on the attack compared to the defense. It's only 50-50. So that's again what they lost pistol both halves against Envy their last meeting. This time they get a pistol on their side to kick off the second half. That could be the difference maker.
You saw the wheels turning there. Crashy's trying to get some early aggression up towards that cubby to try and catch somebody off guard with the classic. Caboose looking to do the same. Vanity going to be holding this flank as Penny pushes on up. A 3K on the round. Vanity to help close it out. And I know that's the anti-eco, but you take a peek at those ultimates, and for Penny and Vanity, they're darn near coming online.
Facts. Just straight facts being spit by my boy Tanner Metro. But here comes that bonus round. And you feel like if V1 win this one, and they get some free weapons, and they force Envy to save the next round, this can get spicy all of a sudden, Tanner. That's all I can say. I feel like Envy needs to win this anti-bonus. Like, you don't want to let V1 just strike back at you like this on their attacking side where they're very powerful and already have, like, a tie ball game in their hands.
Oh my
boy.
Goodness.
What did Effie's do at halftime, bro?
Get out of my way.
Michael's secret soda. What was it? I don't remember now.
Secret stuff.
Michael's secret stuff.
That's it. Yep. Nailed it.
The Bugs Bunny water. Here, this time Penny able to make it onto the side, dropping down into the cloud burst below. Spike still hanging out over towards C-Long. Hasn't since popped on. Victor goes 2 from Logs. Whippy's there to trade it back, and Finesse to fall in the back of the site. Vanity is there to back it up, and you said it, Dust. You called it. You manifested it for Version1. They needed to win the bonus.
Oh, okay.
And they're right here doing it.
I was right, yes, but I didn't manifest it. Like that, I don't want to get in the crossfire as a fans out there.
You caster blessed them.
Ooh, that's new. That still could have negative connotations as is that like extreme bias at that point? I feel like that is. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
let's moonwalk out of this one. Let's just creep on back. See,
I won't tell the chat about your Version1 tattoo.
I have no tattoos. Too much. I can't do the needle thingy. Anyway. Full buy for V1, full save for Envy. Chance for a tie, and, well, that was a tough exchange for Crashies. Not happy about that one. Envy trying to do something crazy with the mid push, but that turret is literally perfectly placed for this type of thing that Envy are trying to go for.
And it's you're trying to chip away, right? If you're Envy, you absolutely do not want to let, obviously these rounds keep going, but the economy to keep stacking.
Exactly.
So you need to start hurting taking away some of these rifles, because it's been near flawless in the last couple. That hasn't really been the case. Finesse able to pick up one and doing just that. Caboose trying to do some on the back foot. He's going to fall, and Finesse now the only one standing. Picked up a kill onto Vanity, so it wasn't free for Version1, but it is looking like an 8-8 game.
Finesse able to use that turret to jump in and grab a Phantom. So, you know, at least he's thinking. He's playing a little bit of multi-dimensional chess. He's quite known for that from the CSGO scene, as he single-handedly completely turned the scene on its head in multiple different ways. But that Phantom, not going to get carried over. Whippy with the triple. Tie game now. And, all right, Tanner. You know, starting to get to that point. Look at that frag distribution, by the way, for version 1. I mean, Vanity's way on up there, but everyone else is so tightly packed. Again, Effie's having such a big recovery. And, I mean, really the fragging across the server is tightly packed. Like, the only outliers are, like, Victor, who's had a really bit of a slow start, and then Vanity, who's, like, soaring to new heights. I feel like Victor has to have impact this round right now with the run it back. Like, this has to be it. You got to slow this V1 team down. They're looking to get aggressive at middle. They're going to use the Cosmic Divide in play as well here. To the attacking side, as they're trying to come into C. They're going to get it. Big flank, though. Is that the spike down? Oh, no.
Yeah, and the ult does get sent back. Nobody here, unfortunately, to follow up on that, as the lockdown was used, and so many members postured up here, just nest egging on the spike from Envy version 1 in a horrible spot. Not only down a player, but yeah, positionally, it's ruined.
Like, you're using a Cosmic Divide to get a lane into C, and then you leave the spike behind, and then it gets flanked up middle, and now you have no spike possession, and you're a player down. This is like the dream for Envy.
Ooh, but they're starting to chuck some stuff back. Caboose now going to give away his position. Hunter's Fury used in that regard. Unfortunately, no lockdown in response. Caboose is there, good for one. Ooh, the backup from Victor makes him good for another as he gets cut down. 70 HP on the raise, and he still stands. Effie's worse for wear, only 5 health to his name. Recon Bolt going to go on through the op shot from downtown from Mummy. And they close out the round. A complete blunder by version 1, but what an opportunity seized by Envy.
It's one of the biggest unforced errors we've seen tonight. I mean, you're on the path to the upset. You're doing everything right, and then you happen to make this little fumble. Now, obviously, Envy doing really great to, you know, take advantage of it, to play smart, to realize the situation and make the most of it. So, I mean, you know, definitely they are still credited with doing really well, but you feel like V1 kind of left one out there for him for free. But they're able to buy back fully, and they just need to keep their composure and just keep fighting. But for Envy, you feel like he got away with one there to get you back on the lead, and you also want to seize that moment. Try to put it to good use and try to force a map 3 here. Still a very close game that we're in right now, and still very hard to tell who really has control of it at this point. Like, is it V1's momentum from before that mistake, or is Envy going to use that to create something new? Well, hey, aggression coming out there. Mummy following up. This is not looking good for V1 at all. Okay.
And the operator in the hands, now your knees have to start shaking if you're version 1, wherever Mummy is at, you want to avoid. Effie's and Zelsis, not long for this, and I didn't get to take a peek at the economy, but it was 2 players chipped away in the previous round, and then all 5 going down, obviously, there in that last. I can't imagine they're going to be buying up too much for too many rounds to come.
Yes.
Ideally, you just want to battle back and try and chip away at some of the economy as well here. If they can find Finesse, this would be a pretty big one. Unfortunately, Crashty's going to make sure that doesn't happen. Finesse does eventually fall. Recon Bolt going to be shot out. Now with 24 HP. I mean, you do the math, you only have 6 HP per enemy, and that's just not going to be enough.
That was impressive quick math. Well done.
Yeah, I could do the 4th grade, 5th grade stuff.
I mean, it's, yeah, of course, anyone can. But in the heat of the moment, in a broadcast, sometimes, you know, simple math goes really wrong.
True.
Speaking of that fight distribution, Envy, everyone's performing, bro. 13 to 11 from top to bottom. Starting to get it done when it matters most here at the home stretch to that finish line to try to force that map 3. Full buy here for both sides, but it's definitely V1's economy. It's more fragile. You feel like this is kind of last chance saloon for them. If they were to lose this, they'd be forced by the rest of the game. Penny getting a great double entry there. Crashies to respond with one of his own, but still a man down is Envy, and Crashies is kind of stuck. He's trying to wait for his teammates to rotate, but he's done well to just be the snake in the grass in the corner, but it's cleared out finally, and now it's all on Finesse. And they're going to leave.
Yeah, Vanity, being the lurker here on the attacking side, came up huge there to find a kill out towards mid, which just let you know everybody was leaning that way, right? Because of where that player is running to try and rotate towards A. You don't really have the information as to where Finesse is at, but you know it's on that side. So everybody takes their leave and heads on out. So Vanity absolutely heads up kill, heads up play in the middle of this round to swing it the way of version 1. And when it comes to terms of economy, I mean, only losing 2 feels pretty good.
That does feel good. That's about exactly what you needed. Obviously, it could have gone better with the flawless, but I mean, this is still really solid. You have to tip your hat to Crashies. This little small shout out. He definitely put his best effort forward. I mean, he really did give that a chance. That's another kill gone. I feel like these chases from V1 are not really the right call. Okay. Interesting interaction, I guess. I don't know that it had really a whole lot of impact, but hey.
Now, imagine what you can do with that if you grab well a turret from a position that's peeking like an angle, and then you grab well it behind the wall.
Okay, I can see that. I'm feeling what you're laying down.
That's pretty interesting to think about, as we do have Envy taking a tactical timeout here in this one, and these prove to be fairly fruitful. Typically, we see some pretty good things, and I believe you get 1 per game per the rule set, and version 1 unfortunately used theirs very early in this one, so they won't have one to match this very, very close game. As they pick up that last round, they're trying to match the double digits. Man, look at the utility. Look how much the map. Eventually, this game is going to get to a point where the map is just flooded with stuff on the floor.
This is a big round to determine if, like, overtime's in the cards, if maybe we're going to steam back ahead. Again, economy's still pretty fragile, really for both sides now at this point. Op is still in play for Mummy. This rifle's aplenty for V1 on the opposing side. Looks like we're once again going to see like a mad scramble for A control based on the Astra utility, and probably going to see some potential Mummy sewer opping shenanigans.
Oof. A nice lineup. Unfortunately, it doesn't amount to too much because of that nebula smoke and nobody pushing up too aggressive.
Here's the thing it creates, though. It allows them to just rotate off now, just let Mummy anchor this, because he will know if there's ever A pressure. And then he can just kind of back off, and then he can call for rotate the need be. It allows him to reinforce elsewhere on the map in the early to mid stage with like minimal risk, which is something that V1's going to have to play against for the whole round without necessarily ever knowing it.
Oh, the tension. It's building.
I mean,
it is about to break.
Penny, you're playing with fire. He's gotten out. I feel like they kind of have an idea that might be happening. So at least they seem to have a read, and they're trying to bypass it. Again, but it means that the defense is stout elsewhere. It's 2 to B and 2 to C right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be hard to break open these sites with Mummy just being able to anchor so much space by himself.
Quick dash on, curveball to be used, nano swarms, Venn diagram on the side, Hunter, Fury, all of the utility going to be chucked out at this squad, and Crashies able to net 1. You've only got 20 seconds, so much time was wasted. Just trying to slow things down early in this one. Finesse going to get caught out. Seaside not opened up, not free just yet. No, Vanity makes me eat my words and says, yes, it is free as Victor pushes on. He tries to find everything he can, but he goes 1 for 1, and Vanity crouches across the crab walk kill onto Caboose, leaves it all up to this operator that was doing so much earlier in the round. Now needs to do so much more here to end it out. No weapon swap. I mean, this could be the tie game.
Yeah, that's it. He's got to get out of there, and he might even save the would be looking for him, but no, Mummy says, I got this. Don't you worry. Still won't win the round, but looks like saving the operator is looking more and more likely as each second passes, though there's still more chase being given. But yeah, that was looking so good for Envy. Again, they had the great rotation. They had the amazing like combo of Nano Swarm and Hunter Fury to make it really hard to B plant, so V1 had to make the pivot to C. But yeah, I'll never know for sure, but that peak from Finesse at Garage it felt like that is what opened the floodgates. Once V1 connected that, you could almost tell like maybe they were just playing because they wanted the confirmation. And also they knew the clock was low. They could like disrupt V1 even longer. They could just win off the clock as like another option to get victory. But it just seemed like you basically gave V1 the one way back to the round that you could, which was because time was running low, they needed to pick quick, and I feel like Finesse kind of just gave it to him there. And then look at what it does to Crashies. I mean, he's so isolated. I don't know about that one. That's a little bit questionable in my opinion, but I could be swayed. Up for debate.
A lot of damage was done at the end of that round. Mummy down to just one standing. It was Vanity still alive. And Penny, the lowest in credits. Just going to buy that full armor, full utility of Frenzy, and use the knives here in this round. So
okay,
this round still could go either way. And when you take a peek at the ultimates online, there's a handful of ducks.
There's all the ults. My stop shot that Ummi though, and Victor able to get one as well. Penny though trying to bring it back, but Mummy says I'm gonna go skeet shooting from sewers and takes Penny out of the sky. Crashy's coming in as well into Whippy, and well, that tie is short-lived. Envy about to take the lead right on back, and as you were kind of already alluding to, credits are kind of fragile here.
This is so tough. The timing as Mummy finds a third on the round. That is it right there. That's what Bach broke down at the beginning of the series. It was the value that Mummy brings. He's not always going to top frag. He's not always going to be this star player, but the impact that he has in a very close game and the kills that he's finding there. Yeah, sure, he doesn't clutch a 1v4 with the spike planted and all he's got is the operator, but I mean, he does a pretty darn good job. I believe that was 6 rounds that he picked up in those last, or 6 kills, excuse me, in those last 2 rounds.
No, he's definitely popping off here, jumping up to the top of the leaderboard for his team, and not too far off Vanity now. As V1 had enough to full buy here, but this doesn't work. It's MV map point, and V1 will not have much to work with in the final round regulation. So this is big. Vandy though catching Caboose, getting aggressive out in middle, and he takes literally 0 damage for that kill. And that's big. Cosmic Divide now to try to slice open this A site. Dueling drones flying out across the front as well.
Victor and Crash is just trying to be on the better side of that Cosmic Divide to try and hear everything.
Look at this. Look at Finesse's positioning. And they basically riddled this Cosmic Divide useless. And now Mummy finds Vanity in middle. How the tides have turned.
Absolutely. Now, a couple of ults still available. Here is one of them. Hunter's Fury going to go wide. Unfortunately, not landing true this time around, as it's going to be that A take that we were expecting because of that Cosmic Divide, but did try and buy some time. Zelsis dodges out on the shock darts for now. There's the Empress. So every single ult used that was available to version 1 to try and tie things up once more. Victor and Mummy going to be holding a crossfire. Bringing up the rear is Finesse. And unfortunately, nobody on the flank, so they're all funneling in from right here. And Penny not going to get spotted by that turret. No way! He doesn't get spotted. He sends the ult back. He picks up a kill onto Finesse. He dashes away to safety. Cosmic Divide going to be used, but the team completely split off. No, the Empress dethroned. Whippy finally grabs one back. Penny playing inside the Nebula Smoke, has a classic in hand, trying to find whatever he can. It's Victor to close things out. Effies now alive. The shock darts are on target, and what a round. Penny, you absolute madman.
Absolute. You could tell the moment that turret got placed that they were going to lose the round, honestly, because you knew that they were like never going to check that corner. No, that's the thing about that turret, man. It's 180 degrees from where it's placed, and so it never had a chance of spotting Penny. And at that point, if you're Envy, you have to hard clear that corner now because your turret will not do the trick. And they just didn't. They left that stone unturned. It comes back to haunt them as it stops the ult and it gets a frag as well. And it sets up V1 to be able to succeed. That's a big round to win because their economy was so low. They were on the verge of basically having such a low buy coming into what could be Envy's map point. Instead, now both teams fighting for map point at the same time. Some of this aggression from Envy defensively is coming to haunt them in some of these moments. Some of these like off-timing peaks are not paying off anymore. Mummy's op going to be pushed back here at B by the drone. This aggression, though, is kind of big from Victor. He's getting a lot of intel at A. Again, freeing up the defense to be more reinforced elsewhere on the map as he has kind of A under his control by himself, but just such deep positioning.
We're seeing something similar to the round that Vanity really popped off and found a 3K, but it was a late hit towards C. And the only thing that kind of foiled that, like you said, was Finesse maybe peaking a bit too soon.
Right.
So if that doesn't happen this time around, I don't think
the other thing.
This slow playstyle bodes well.
There's a couple of big ults in play for Envy in this round. There's maybe no ults left in the game for V1.
Oh, the shock dart misses. Penny walks away, not unscathed. Bravwell pulls him back in. No way, Jose, but the spike gets planted and they're all playing out towards this mid area. Inside window, the showstopper goes through. Victor on the flank here. Somebody has to answer back, and unfortunately, Effies will fall. Vanity, too far away to get anything done, was looking for a miracle play on the flank, but unfortunately does not go his way. Version1, they let it slip through their fingers, and I don't think the economy is great going into the last round of regulation.
Yeah, it's definitely not. Spectres are having to come out again. No alts are going to be in play. Finesse still has his lockdown available for a retake. Envy. That grab, well, you could just see the sadness in Penny's eyes. I mean, shed a tear for that man. Oh my goodness. And also that flank from Victor, getting that early A push, just, again, allowed them to reinforce the other sides and allowed him to have a quick flank on that retake.
And he tried there to find Victor. He's able to leap away. It is that yard sale by Spectres, a frenzy, one Phantom. As the drones go toe-to-toe, Crashy's doing his darndest to try and find as much information as he can gather. Now, it's going to be the run-and-gun plays that we're looking to see coming out from Version1 as they've got the Spectres, the SMGs in hand.
Right.
And the one player tagged started to rotate away.
Yeah,
and Envy think that this play's going somewhere else.
The thing is, it's going to be an A retake. And that's what Envy are playing for on purpose, to reinforce the other sides, know that they had the lockdown to go. Now, the thing is, Effies could have shock dart lines to destroy the lockdown. That's like the, I don't know for sure. There is ways to do it.
Ooh, damage traded back and forth. It's Crashy's trying to stop the plant, and he does do that momentarily. Now going to be planted right underneath Evan, and this could be a spot. No, Penny plays in the corner again and finds a kill. Finesse goes down. That's the lockdown. That was your insurance on this round as the head narrowly gets missed by Caboose. And he still has the knives in hand. Crashes is going to fall. This is how regulation is going to end. It's down to the last two. No, make it one. It's Mummy again with the operator in hand. Penny's going to go wide. The kill comes through with the ghost. 46 HP. The weapon pickup. And 12 to 12. We find ourselves in overtime.
Oh, and you feel like you just had that pit of your stomach starting to just get so tight the moment that Finesse goes down. And as you said, that checkmate move is no longer on the board. And V1 have done the unthinkable. They have brought this thing all the way back to OT. Credits now equal. All economic woes erased. All alts kind of a non-factor. And so it just comes straight up to brawling, basic utility usage, and just general strategy. Envy. We'll start here on this attacking side. We can see a big C defense in place, and I believe this is the first time all game long we've seen Penny perched on top of C boxes looking down long. And that's the thing about overtime. You start doing things that your opponent has never seen before, and it could catch them off guard as they are looking to try to get this garage control and potentially set up the C split. This is where Penny's operator could be so massive, Tanner. If that's really what they choose to do.
A lot of noise made that way, so quite possibly making Version1 think that that is the call. Caboose and Victor still holding it down towards garage, and the spike still planted on the ground, so no real
You can tell that Envy are trying to feint A little bit. Like, they want to see if they can hold those players in place or try to pull a rotation, but they're going to run into the C stack, bro, and it's going to come down to brute force alone to get past it. Celsius has a great angle. Penny has long covered, can look over any utility. And if he lands his shot and gets away and they have a triple C defense in place, including Zelsis in this corner, with Whippy to kind of help cover, I'm not liking Envy's chances here just based on positioning, Tanner. But, I mean, again, they could brute force their way through anyhow.
Turret spots him out. Anostorm used. Penny going to find the first kill. Mummy to fall. Here comes a curveball around the corner. Zelsis going to go down. Unfortunately, Penny way too low to take that fight as Victor picked it up. Whippy towards the back of the side, still alive for a moment longer. Victor trying to challenge as Finesse takes down a Vanity, and it's all up to Effies, who needs to do something heroic. Unfortunately, not able to do it. It's a 3K for Victor as they stomp the defense on C. They grab the first win in OT.
Yeah, they limit Penny's impact with the op, and they also allow Zelsis nothing. So that was kind of the two key pieces there. Like, yeah, Penny's first kill is kind of a foregone conclusion just based on Envy's positioning and based on how Penny was playing. But from that point forward, I mean, they really did such an efficient job at their spacing and trading. You know, only allowing, I think, Whippy 1 kill in the back corner as well. Zelsa 0. So, I mean, that's just good brute force trading efficiency. Again, that was the one way that Envy could still win, despite potentially just being outplayed maneuvering-wise. And they did. And now they have a chance to force the map 3 here. And now V1 looking to try to force another overtime game. You got to win 2 in a row if you're new to Valorant. Pitching it for the first time. You got to get those 2 in a row to take the dub.
And so Zelsis tanks the drone there, so that way Penny doesn't get spotted out. Unfortunately, the jump peek from Crashies gonna give him away. The spike hovering over towards that C site. We'll see where they decide to go here. Nice and slow is how Version would want to take it.
They know how much weight is on this. They know they can keep the 2-0 dream alive here and now and avoid that third map safety net if they can just play their cards right and force another overtime. So they don't want to hedge their bets early and fall prey to some type of stack or, you know, leave some type of corner unchecked. They want to try to play it out as methodical as possible. As they're looking to still go for this A split, though. Throwing the stars down, coming in. There's a lot of defense set up here, though, and Penny gets busted immediately.
Victor's able to get one, pushing up through sewers as well, but traded right back. So 2 for 2 we go. Still on the site is Mummy. He's mowing him down, holding it down all by himself. No Caboose is there to back him up, and Envy close it out in OT.